So I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I was looking at a bow press, and I know some of you commented, you know, oh, get the easy. And to be honest, I was at my local pro shop here talking with some of those guys, and they were cursing that press and the cost with having to buy different fingers, things like that. They weren't completely happy with it. I mean, I get it, they work, that's fine. I've never personally owned one, so I can't really speak to it personally. But I did some homework, and I've been doing some homework. And you know, I came across Total Vise, and I bought their bow vise, which I've been very happy with now. Been using that for a couple weeks. And talking with Jeff Howard over at Total Vise about the press, and it does everything I want it to do and then some. So this not only will do compound bows, but it will also do crossbows. Now, I'm not your crossbow guy. I don't know the first thing about crossbows. Just throwing that out there. But it will do them. I don't have a crossbow to even show you anything about it. So, but it will do compound bows, and that's what I'm all about. Now, this thing has got a lot of features on it that we're going to go over. So buckle up, because this might be a little bit of a lengthy one. I'll try to just get to the point and show you all the features. But comes with a lot of stuff, and it's heavy. Shipping weight on this was, I think, 46 or 47 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, and it is heavy. This can just be here permanent, which I've got this bolted down permanently now. This knuckle here doesn't come with it, but I highly recommend that you get this with it. So without it, you've got some pretty good articulation here. So you can spin this around. So you've got your rotation, and you've got your tip, which is all great. But you can do more if you get the additional knuckle for this. And one thing that I do want to stress is this is a system. Other vices that they sell slip into the same stuff. The whole thing is kind of it's a really neat system. I'll link their website down below. I paid for this, by the way. This is you know, I didn't just get this for free. This is something I researched and I paid for. So you can take your knuckle here, put this in. Now, if I want to do something a little different with it, now I can. So if I'm working at one end, I can tip it this way. Work at the other end, I can tip it this way, make it level. If I want to also tip it slightly this way to get the backside of limbs a little easier, or maybe I want to bring this to me a little bit. It just makes life a little bit easier all the way around. So from here on out, we'll just keep this thing locked up here with the added knuckle on it. But this thing will just, brilliant. Genius, like it. So let's look at some of just the basic functions first. It comes with a handle. This is a 3/8 drive. It's got a nice ball here that you can run this with. It just clips into the end, and you can run it in and out. Pretty simple, pretty basic, comfortable. I like that. Or you can take a 3/8 drive on a drill and put that in there and run it back and forth. This is just way quicker, way easier. It's not hard to do it this way here, but that is a little faster. Okay, so your fingers here, they are adjustable fingers. You can run these in and out to get the set you need. The rubber material on this is very sticky stuff. Nothing wants to slide on this. It's a really, but yet it has some give. It's a little soft. I put my bow in this thing, cranked it down, I don't know, 15, 20 times now, just back and forth, just playing around. It doesn't slide. It doesn't mar the limbs. I got no damage, nothing like that. It works. These will also do the Mathews. So they've got a rubber tipped end here into the Mathews limbs, collapse it down. We haven't found a bow that this won't press to date. So these are adjustable in and out, so you can, you've got some of the limbs are thinner, some are wider. You can customize these any way you want to work for you. On top of that, this is also a drawboard. So how does that work? Well, we've got this piece here. This holds the riser of the bow. And then you've got this piece here, which is an additional pulley. And you've got a pulley that's mounted right here. So this one is stationary. It's actually not stationary, I shouldn't say that. You can take this off if you want. There's a set screw on the back side. Slide your fingers out of the way, slide that off if you need to. So far, leaving it right there hasn't been a big deal at all. So this piece will go in this end over here. These tubes on the backs, these tubes here are hollow. These are designed to just slide right into place. You may have to slide your fingers out of the way just a little bit, but now this one here's got a pin in it, so you can just slide that in, pin that right there. Now right here is a cable. It's a rope actually, but there's your rope. It just wraps up around this added piece for the crossbows, real nice. So that just comes, I just keep it right. It was wrapped up there right from the factory. So take this here and we can just feed it right through this pulley, just like so. And then we can feed it through the other pulley. And now we've got this set up to draw the bow. In fact, let's throw the bow in there and let's just draw it back real quick since we've got it set. Let's take the bow, and that just sits like so. Then I can take my bungee and I can grab my string with it. And that actually, with the bungee hooked to the string, that holds the bow right there. You don't need anything else. If you let go of this, your bow's going to want to tip. But you can just take your bungee right to your string, let go of it, there she is. Now, I've got my cable here, and I'm going to have to run this in and out so my cable can reach my D-loop. I've got my cable here. This is to draw my bow back with. I can hook that to my D-loop there. Take my drill. Okay, now this is just going to start drawing it back. Now, you can leave this on here. If you wanted to, you could put an arrow in here if you got a safe thing to shoot at, just in case something goes wrong. I leave the bungee on here because it will absorb some shock. You will have to adjust it back here as you draw the bow back, and this starts to go slack though. Now, if I want, this is perfect for checking your cam timing. And this is nice, you know, rather than running the drill, this is good, a good time for the handle, because it's just a little bit easier to control. There's my stops right there. It's all drawn back. Now, you know, you can check your cam timing stuff. This is where I put the, just put the handle in here. And you can slowly work this while you're checking stuff. You can look at, you know, cam lean. You can do all kinds of stuff with a drawboard. They're really handy. The fact that this press also is a drawboard is a selling point for me, that's for sure. And then I did tighten up this bungee here just as a safety precaution. So I was using the bungee as kind of a safety system. So if that thing were to you know, if the D-loop were to break or something like that, you don't want to dry fire. The bungee is going to help absorb some of that energy. So technically that would help you avoid a dry fire if something went horribly wrong. But it also comes with this safety bar. So as soon as you draw it past the center point here, there is a slot for your safety bar to go in. So when you've got that bow drawn back past here, put your safety bar in. If something were to also go haywire, the string's going to hit that. It's not going to be a dry fire on the bow, and you're going to save your limbs. That is, I think, an important piece. This piece that it comes with here also slips into this center post, and that piece is for crossbow stuff. So there's also a rod back here. These two pieces are for crossbow stuff. Again, not your crossbow guy. Go watch Death by Bungee. He's a crossbow guy. Got a lot of cool crossbow stuff. Him and his daughter, Genevieve. Been following them for a while. All about crossbows. This actually has got 4 slots right there that you can adjust for different length bows. So I'm going to just throw this on the second hole here because I'm running a 31-inch dart and sequel, the Sequel 31. Okay, so we're lined up on our limbs here. Our cams are centered. Now here's something pretty cool. It comes with this rod. This piece here is adjustable. And on this end, you've got a post. And that post drops in right here. That just sits down in there, and then what you can do is take this bungee that it also comes with, and you can just hook the bungee right here, put that around your string, give it just a little bit of tension there. Now, I want to verify that my limbs are looking good, they're seated properly. Slide this over just a little bit. I don't have much pressure on this at all, so I can still manipulate it if I need to, just a little bit. Make sure my fingers are locked down. Now, what I can do is press it. Here we go. If I want, I can probably should have put a little bit more pressure on that, but now this is, I can swap strings, cables, you know, adjust my cams, tie in peeps, whatever I need to do. We are good to go right there. Make sure everything is on and lined up, which here very shortly I will be tying in a Hamskea peep sight that's a little bit smaller. I don't like the diameter of this one, so it's too big for me. So I'm going to swap out to a smaller one in a Hamskea style and not this one here. And then before you let all the tension off of this, I'm just checking to make sure that all of my cables and string are seated well and in place. Just like so. And out she comes. Let's just look at another scenario. Entertain me for a minute here. Here's where things get kind of cool. Maybe I'm doing some work at this end of the bow. And I can come over here and I can do whatever I'm doing, right? Maybe I'm just going to put a twist in the string because the peep turned or something like that. So I can collapse this down, unhook it up here, but it's right here. It's right where I'm working. I'm not, I'm not down here doing something else, or maybe I'm doing it at the other end. So I can come over here. I can work on this end. Maybe I'm putting shims in this, in this setup. Maybe I'm shimming the cam this way or this way, so I can shim that, get this together, and then I can just come over to this side, do the same thing, put some shims in it, mess around with timing with your cables, things like that. And the whole time, this thing is just rock solid. I can spin it around this way if I want to do something on this side of the bow. Bring it all the way around if I want to do that side of the bow, different sides. I don't know. When I saw what this thing can do, I'm like, all right, take my money, I'll buy it. I couldn't hardly pass it up. The bungee also works for a great way to not drop your bow. So when you're bringing it out of the vise, it just hangs here, just floats on your bungee. You can hook this right to the string, or you can put it through your G-loop if you want. I just put it on the string, but that's me. So there's that. I think I'm gonna be happy with this. There's another thing over here too. There's a little magnet right here. So, if you've got anything, parts and pieces that are magnetic that you throw your axles there or something, you're taking the axles out of the cams. You can stick stuff right there as long as it's magnetic, obviously. I haven't figured out where I'm going to put everything yet, but I'll probably just hang some stuff up here for right now. I think that wraps it up. So the bow press and the bow vise, both of them, great. Again, this is a system. They have other things that work with each other. They all kind of work together, and I'll link their website below. Go check them out. But it is an option to other brands, other things that are available on the market. Personally, I think this is a better option. Again, you don't have to buy different fingers for different bows. Those cost a lot of money. Some of them cost a fortune. I think currently this price is $849, and if you buy a competitor's press and then you have to start buying different fingers and stuff, you're going to exceed that cost. So I guess that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate your time. We'll see you in the next one.